If I were to have a podcast, I would like to talk about love, romance, heartbreaks, all of that fun stuff, which would inevitably probably lead me to talking about therapy. Because when you talk about love, you end up talking, you have to go to therapy, right? I would probably talk a lot about emotional health because I love emotional health. Actually, I just love all kinds of health. And where was I going with that? Oh yeah, and all of that sounds kind of boring eventually when as soon as you start talking about emotional health and things that like exercise, get a full night's rest, all that, people just like zone out. So I would have to do it in like a humorous, fun way, right? Like it has to be entertaining. There has to be some value there. So basically, if I were to do a podcast, we would just be talking about life in a fun way. And hopefully we would like walk away knowing something, learning something new, and having had a great laugh. And I'd probably bring on guests to chat with me. Oh, and we'd film it because it's fun to like see the people, you know? And I like to eat a lot of food, so we'd probably eat food. So that's what I would do if I had a podcast. We'd munch and mingle. Okay, we don't have to say that. We don't have to say that. Okay, but good news, totally unrelated. I'm going to have a podcast, a YouTube video podcast where we get to sit and chat and why was I going to say chump? Is that a word for munch? Chat, munch, and talk about life. And I'm very, very, very excited. So that being said, I'm going to whip out my popcorn triangles. How do you can't eat these without being awkward. Sorry. Especially for those of you who hate hearing people eat. Maybe I should go off the microphone and munch. Oh, look. One more. I've been waiting to eat these ever since we bought them. I'm very happy. Okay, today, for our first guest, I'm very excited to introduce our first guest. Because it's me. I couldn't even keep a straight face. I am the first guest. And I will be introducing myself. I will be chatting because I figure if I'm hosting this podcast and inviting people on, maybe you guys like want to know about me. But if not, you can just skip this one and go on to the next one. So I was born in 1994, the year of our Lord. I'm just kidding. I'm not going to go all the way back there. But I lived in the States till I was 7 years old. And then my dad got a job with the American Embassy and I grew up abroad. So became an international rat. I was the daughter of a diplomat. I have never said that before. That was a rhyme. I'm going to have to remember that. And then usually the question that people follow up with that is like, oh, cool. Where have you lived? Or where was your favorite place to live? So I'll just tell you about that. Our first posting was in Nairobi, Kenya. I went to ISK, International School of Kenya. Oops. And I loved it there because it's a perfect place. Well, perfect place for a little girl to grow up because there's all these animals and fun stuff, and I ate berries right off of like the bush. That makes me sound like like running around in a loincloth, which is not a problem if, you know, that's how you choose to live your life. Anyways, so I lived there for 2 years and then we moved to Caracas, Venezuela. And I was there for 3 years, which was really fun because I am actually part Colombian. My dad was originally born and raised in Colombia, so I'm Colombican. My mom is from Idaho. She has red hair, blue eyes, freckles. And I am a living testament that interracial marriages create the most beautiful babies, obviously. No, but for real, I'm pretty sure. Maybe I shouldn't be saying that. Moving on. I moved to Brussels, Belgium after, and I was there for a few years. I ate so much chocolate. Like, I'm pretty sure the day we landed, we got some Côte d'Or, and I like ate that every day the whole time I was living there, and I do miss that a lot. And then we moved to New Delhi, India, and I went to high school there, and that was an absolute adventure. Loved my time there. And then I got really sick, and well, actually I was like sick for quite a while, and we moved back to the United States so I could become better and healed, which is actually why I like to talk. That's why I'm passionate about emotional health, is because a lot of my illness, it was all just like mental illness, and it just really wiped me out. So I had to get treatment. We had to get healed, and now we're happy most of the time. And then I moved to Japan, sang with Disney there for a little bit, and now I'm back. So we are back and we're just living life and we're loving it. So this is me, I guess. A little bit about me. What else do I love? I love food. I love naps. I love health. I love to laugh. I like kissing people. Okay. I asked on Instagram, can you believe people actually responded to my story? I asked, like, what would you want to hear me talk about? And they responded. Okay, great. Let me pull up a picture. These are the responses. Questions to get to know me. Things that people wanted to know. Somebody said, what was your fave and least fave thing today? Love that. Today, I drove in the snow. And that is the answer to both of those questions because it was absolutely beautiful. I love the wilderness, the outside, the snow, but I like to look at it. Like, I don't like to drive in it. So while I was driving, I was like, wow, this is so beautiful. And also I might die. So that was like my favorite thing of today and my least favorite thing. Fun fact, I am not an outdoorsy person. I am a homebody, but I love being outside. Like, I try to go on a walk every day. I don't know why I was about to say, and I try to eat every day. I was just thinking about the food, I guess. I try to go on a walk every day, and I like to look at the mountains. I live in Utah, so there's a lot of mountains, and I love them. And I'd even like to sleep in the wilderness, but I would like to be comfortable, and I wish there was a shower and a toilet. You know what I'm saying? That would be prime for me. Okay, that was just a side fact. I digress. Back to this. Okay, somebody else said self-help type stuff. The mind, Ganae, you are so wise when it comes to that stuff, and I love it. She doesn't lie. I love to study why we work the way that we do, especially, the human brain, what is healthiest for us, what works, what doesn't work. So, we will be diving into that for sure as we chat. We're going to be talking about, I just said that. Things that work, things that don't work, lifestyle, what brings me joy, what brings me health, and things that don't work for me. And then maybe you can adopt those practices. And if they work for you, great. If they don't, find something that does. Because ultimately, that's what I would want for you. It's your happiness. Okay, so we will be talking about happiness and self-love. That's one of that word I know can be so cliche. Or those words, I guess it's 2 words. Did you see? I hope you saw that motion I just did. Anyways, self-love or developing a relationship with self and appreciating self and not needing that from anybody else. Of course, we're all human. We do need validation. We do need love. We're literally wired for companionship. But it is important to be whole personally. And so I love to chat about that. Obviously, I'm not perfect at it, but it's something that I've been trying to learn over the past few years. So yeah, let's chat about that. Okay. And let's do one. Okay, well, let me just read you these as a little ego boost. We had somebody ask if I would date someone who's younger. Somebody asked how I'm so beautiful. It's a lot of work. How is a woman practically perfect woman still? That one had a typo, still single. That's okay. I really appreciate the sentiment. And then somebody said they'd ask me on a date and they did this little eyeballs emoji. So let's talk about dating since that one is there. Actually, yeah, we absolutely need to talk about dating. Currently, no, I'm not dating anybody. And sometimes I really want a partner. And then sometimes I don't. So I probably need to go back to therapy. Because I think I'm dangerous levels of self-love. I think that's where I'm at. Because now I'm I don't think I need anybody ever for anything. Well, I mean, I need my support group. But when it comes to dating, I have to learn how. As I'm talking about this, I'm thinking it's probably just a coping mechanism to be I'm fine. I don't need anybody else. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's ultra independence, and I'm discovering that as we speak. So we will learn that together as we talk about dating. No, I'm not dating anybody right now. Sometimes, yes, I'll let you set me up if I trust you. And thank you for listening. Is that the end? Okay, come back next time. I just want to say thank you to my team so much at ARC Studios. Love you guys. Thanks for making this happen. Thank you for the snacks. I will be chowing down on these once I finish talking. And I can't wait for the next one. And I can't wait for you guys to be there. Make sure to follow on my socials. Beep, boop, beep. I'm assuming that we can just pop them up there. Is there anything else I should say? Thank you for being here today. And we will see you next time. Bye-bye.